I remember sitting under the buzzing fluorescent lights of the office feeling completely flat. If you're like I was, coming to health coaching from another career, coming from corporate, you might be feeling that same lack of passion in your current job. In fact, it's probably draining the life out of you. And you're starting to wonder, what if I could actually do something I care about? What if I could actually help people and get paid for it? Like, what if health coaching could be, a full-time thing or a part-time thing that was enough to replace that other job? Is that just crazy talk? Like, do people actually do that? Well, I am here to tell you, yes, I have been there. I left my full-time career in advertising, and we are talking window office, nice salary, the whole thing. I left it to build a business as a health coach. Because, having gone through my own health transformation, it started feeling entirely misaligned to be working on ad campaigns for McDonald's or Ocean Spray. So I started using the little extra time that I had to explore something different. I got myself certified as a health coach, and I was working on establishing this new identity for myself. Even though, and you're probably feeling the same way, I really had no idea how I was ever going to take the leap into coaching full-time. In today's episode, I want to talk to those of you who are stuck between a steady paycheck and that nagging voice coming from somewhere inside you that says, there's something more. If that sounds familiar, I can help. Email the word full-time to michelle@healthcoachpower.com. I want to hear from you. And whether you want to leave your job eventually or just have a meaningful side gig, this episode is for you. So let me take you back. We are talking 2008, 2009. If you remember, that banks had crashed and the economy was a mess. And if you worked in advertising or lots of other industries, but certainly for those of us working in advertising, your job was about to disappear. Now, I was in a fairly good position because I had already gotten my health coach certification, and I'd been trying to get something going on the side, but it was slow, and I had no idea what I was doing. So I was just kind of dragging myself through the 9 to 5 and wondering if this dream of health coaching was even realistic or if I just wasted a lot of money on a cute idea. But then layoffs came. And I got that pink slip and I was like, oh my goodness, what happens next? It felt like the rug got pulled out from under me. But at the same time, weirdly, I felt like, okay, I'm getting my moment. It's being handed to me in the form of this pink slip, which is a little disconcerting, but still, it was like a not so subtle nudge from the universe saying, go. So I went. I didn't have much choice. I jumped in with both feet. The next day I woke up and I'm like, I guess I'm a health coach now. But there was no roadmap and there was no backup plan except for the little severance package that they gave me. I just had time, energy, and desperation to make the health coaching thing happen. Now, back then, there wasn't so much support available, not like now. And I just threw myself 1,000% into any avenue that I could think of to get clients. I mean, what else was I going to do? And I managed to get a couple, and I was covering my expenses at least, but it was pennies compared to my old salary. About 6 months into that whirlwind, I ended up being featured in a documentary called Lemonade. And Lemonade was all about following people who came from the advertising world, who had left or lost their jobs, and we were doing something totally new with our lives. So in that interview, and my friend Eric was the director, they asked my advice. He said, what advice do you have for someone who wants to do something new, who wants to reinvent themselves? And here's what my 28 or 29-year-old self said, because even though the money wasn't quite there yet, I knew I was on my path.
Sometimes there's things you love to do that you forget about. So put your energy in the things that you love. Put all the energy you can into those things and see what happens.
Man, I didn't even know yet how much was going to happen. That was just the beginning for me. So if you're listening to this right now and you're stuck in a job that feels like it's draining the life out of you and you're wondering what comes next, hold on to that idea. My 28-year-old self was onto something. Put your energy into the things you love. And it doesn't mean that you have to quit your job tomorrow. It just means you can start moving towards something better, like today, like I did months before the layoffs happened. I positioned myself to be able to make that leap. You just never know how it's going to happen. Now, when I'm thinking back to those early days, starting my business, working for myself for the first time in my life, I also had to face something. And it wasn't anything that I was expecting or anything that anyone prepared me for. So I just want to prepare you in case this is your experience as well. I went from an office that was just buzzing, full of people. I think we had 800 people working at that ad agency. So I was never alone. And now I was always alone, sitting at my kitchen table, wearing yoga pants, talking to my cat, and just second guessing every decision because I didn't have coworkers. I didn't have a boss. I had no guidance or even a sounding board. I really wanted the water cooler. I wanted to be able to just chit chat with other people who were doing the same thing because I'd always been part of a team that collaborated. So way back then is when I started a Facebook group for health coaches. And at first it was just 14 of my friends, and they were all people I knew from health coach school. We were all trying to figure things out. We all just needed that water cooler. But then other coaches started requesting to join, people I didn't know at all. And little by little, what do you know? The group grew. So today it's called the Health Coach Power Community. It has over 15,000 members. And that is what spawned this podcast. But honestly, it's still one of my favorite corners of the internet because it reminds me that it may feel like you're alone. You might be the only health coach you know in real life, certainly the only one that in your town or in your local area, but we are definitely not doing this alone. Anyway, I share that because if you are still working full time and you're trying to grow your health coaching business on the side, you're in the thick of it right now. You work all day. And then what are you supposed to do? Come home and make YouTube videos and write cute little funny Instagram captions. You finally work up the nerve and you ask somebody to be your client and then they ghost. It's like you're doing all the things, but you might feel like you aren't making much progress or it's just going very, very slowly. I know that can feel discouraging. And especially discouraging when you're doing it by yourself or you feel like you're all by yourself. So what I see health coaches doing is, we start thinking I need another certification so that someone's going to take me seriously as a health coach. Or I need to start a blog. I need a 5-10-year plan. I have to start a podcast, and it's in all this doing and more that coaches tend to burn out before they even get started. So that's why I teach something a little bit different, just based on my many years of experience. I'm working with so many other coaches because, whether it's a full-time job for you or you're taking care of the kids or you're taking care of aging parents or all of the above, I know your time is limited. I know your energy is limited. So yes, you can and you should offer private coaching when that makes sense. But what if you made offers that were easier? What if you did things that took less time, less upfront work? What if we could just cut to the chase and give clients something easier to say yes to so that you can start helping people now? That's what we're going to talk about next, because the traditional private coaching package that you're taught in health coaching school, that may or may not be the best place to start when you're working full time. And so it's what can you do instead to start earning and start gaining experience right now? Because you need that. Nothing makes your business feel real like seeing money go in the bank account, like seeing those aha moments with the clients that you're working with, even if it's just one or two. I'm working with a client right now, a health coach who works a lot of hours in her other job. So we've gotten creative. We've concocted offers that she's starting to earn with First of all, they don't take as many hours, as much one-to-one time as private health coaching would, and they allow her to work on her own schedule, asynchronously. That is my favorite word of all time. Certainly my favorite coaching concept, asynchronously. It is so much more flexible, and this way, it works with her schedule. She needs that. When you're working full time, you just can't afford to sit around hoping that someone's going to, go to your website and book your 6-month coaching package. Not going to happen. You need some momentum. You need to feel like, yes, this is happening, or else you won't keep going. Confidence comes from getting paid, helping real people, and seeing how this can start to work, even in small ways. That's the proof you need that you could eventually replace your job with coaching. So that's what I do with my clients, health coaches who are taking real steps forward. If you're feeling ready to move forward too, just email the word full-time to me. I'm at michelle@healthcoachpower.com. There are bite-sized services that you can offer, you can run right now, even along your full-time job. We want to talk about things that don't require hours of preparation or a million tech tools. They don't require a huge commitment from your audience either, because you are new, right? Let's just make it easy, for goodness sake. All right, example from my own business. There's a lot of things I didn't do right when I was starting out, but here is one thing that I can look back and say that was a very good idea. I wouldn't recommend doing this exact thing right now for a variety of reasons, including that it is illegal to charge people for food and feed them in an uncertified home kitchen. But I didn't know that at the time. I was just starting out, and anyway, mistakes were made. But I started out hosting a Sunday cooking club. And it was very, very simple. I would get about 6 women to come over, friends of mine, friends of friends, and we would cook some healthy food together. We would prepare it together. We would cook it together. We would eat together. They paid a small amount of money to cover my costs, maybe a little beyond that, not much. We all cooked. We chatted, we ate, it was community, it was a sense of figuring out what people wanted to talk about. It gave me so much purpose. It gave me a sense of doing something, even if it was, as I later learned, just a little bit illegal. Oops. So anyway, you don't have to leave your full-time job to be a health coach, to start doing, right? You could hold your version of a Sunday cooking club. If you like your job, if it gives you stability or structure or a good 401k, great. I love it. You can absolutely build a side business that supports your passion, that makes a difference. You don't have to blow up your whole life. But if you're like I was, I was waking up every Monday with that pit in my stomach, like, I do not want to do this anymore. Or if you think there's a chance that your job, like mine, could just disappear one day, maybe it's time to start putting together plan B. Either way, what you need is to prove that your business can earn consistently. So not just once, not just when someone randomly out of nowhere signs up for something out of the blue. You need to see that you can create offers and you can sell them and you can repeat that process, because that's what takes you from this is an idea, this is a dream, to, oh, this is actually happening now. So you don't need a big old business plan. You don't got to quit the job, nothing like that. I am a big fan of a stable paycheck. Please. We love that. But I want you to see some small wins so that you can prove to yourself that, yes, this can happen. And yes, I've seen plenty of health coaches go full time, which means you can replace your income as a health coach. It's not going to happen by accident. You have to stop trying to do the hardest, most complex things first. What you see other people doing online, they've probably been in business for 10 or 15 years. Don't try to do that. It's like the cart before the horse. You have to focus right now on simple offers, things that fit your life right now, fit your experience and your abilities right now, and help you start working with clients now, not someday, not down the line. I can help you make progress quickly, even while you're still working that other job, email the word full-time to michelle@healthcoachpower.com. And I will see you next week. Until then, keep putting energy into the things you love.